completing your progress review. Now, I've noticed that some people seem to be finding it difficult to complete the progress review in preparation for your tutorials. So this is the first page that you see. If you notice here, there are instructions, and if you go onto this tab here, it does provide you instructions on how to complete your progress review. So let's go back here. You'll notice that we have in this column here Academic 1, Academic 2, Academic 3. If we go back to the instructions, it will tell us what to do with that. So what it suggests that you do is that you identify up to 3 targets related to your academic progress that you'd like to work on. So I have completed mine, so I've put in some targets for myself. Okay, so reading academic journals, planning and drafting assignments, focus structure on assignments. So you notice that I've put them through for teaching practice, for professionalism, and for personal. Now you don't have to complete all of these, but it is helpful if you do that. So now that I've identified the areas that I would like to develop, I can now start scoring. If I go onto this tab here, you can see I've added some scores in here. So I reckon I'm kind of okay at reading journal articles. I'm a bit better at planning and drafting assignments, and I'm not really very good at creating a structure in my assignments. You know, I've put down here that I've got issues with anxiety and also spelling. So let's pop that right. So I've only marked myself at 2. Okay, I've put myself into doing a walk each day because I find that helps with my anxiety, and to make sure that I take 1 rest day a week. Okay, so what do we do with this? So if you read the instructions here, you'll see that I need to select these cells here. And then if I go up to insert, so I'm on the insert menu, and I go into charts, I'll ask for all charts. Can you see I can find radar charts? So I am going to select that. And that gives me a spider or a radar chart of my progress against each of my targets that I set in September. Okay. Now, I'm asking you to do this again in December so that you can kind of track your progress, because actually we often forget that we're slowly developing over time. So this is a really useful way of really identifying your progress over time. So you notice that I've already put in some scores. Sometimes I've got a bit better, sometimes I've got a bit worse. Okay, so again, I select the cells indicated. So I'm selecting everything, all of my targets, my September scores and my December scores. And I'm in the home menu at the top here, so I'm going to go into insert. I'm then going to go into charts, all charts, radar, and I'm going to select the radar chart. So you can see that here, you can see my progress over time. So blue was what I reckoned I was in September, and December was where I reckoned I was in December. Red is what I reckoned I was in December. And you can see I've got better in some areas, and actually I've got a bit worse in other areas. So that would help me to think, well, actually, do you know what? I'm not as good at behaviour management as I thought I was. What I'm trying obviously isn't working, so perhaps I need to really focus on that next time. Now I've put these into separate tabs here, only so that I can show you how to do this without having to fill in all of the numbers. But what I would expect to see is your charts in on this one page on here. So you'd be completing, you know, this. So in September, you'd put your targets in here. These are your targets that you set for yourself because you know yourself. You then do your scoring for September, and then your scoring for December. And you know, again in March we will have another tutorial, and I'll ask you for some scoring for March as well. And then you can then create the spider diagrams to indicate how well you're progressing against your chosen targets.